Travois is a 21-year-old, family-owned, mission-driven business, and we do a lot of highly technical things, but basically it's our job to come into an American Indian or Alaska Native or Native Hawaiian community where the community already has a consensus around what they want to do. And we provide financing to help them accomplish those goals. So that can mean infrastructure, it can mean affordable housing, it can mean education or healthcare, and these days all of that includes some kind of green or renewable component. The way that we go about our job is that basically since we've been around for 21 years, people who are working in American Indian, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian communities know who we are. And they know that there are certain situations when an organization, most of the time that's a tribe, sometimes that's a nonprofit organization or some other type of company, but mostly it's a tribe, and they know that if they face a financing gap when they're trying to put together a project that is either infrastructure or housing or community development in some way, that they can call on us. And so then what we do is we come into the community and we try to identify the community leaders who are already there, who have already come up with what the solutions are, whether that's some type of more progressive infrastructure or whether that's a more progressive early education model. The solutions are always coming from the communities where we work. We're not bringing those with us. We're based in Kansas City. We're just a small company of 30 people. There are over 500 tribes in the United States, and each of them has their own direction that they're headed, and they have their own leadership. And in order for any type of positive change to be successful, it really has to come from the community where the issue is taking place. And so what we do is we come into these communities not with our own ideas of what should be done, but to identify the people who have legitimacy and to identify the people who are willing to do the work it takes to implement these types of creative solutions. And once we are sure that we think that the intervention can work, again, whatever field that's in, and once we feel like the community is really behind it, then we have access to investors that we can bring just to close those financial gaps. The reason that Travois focuses on Native American communities, what we call in the US Indian country, is that tribes face specific barriers to accessing capital that other communities don't. And so in order to get over those barriers, you have to use non-traditional financial tools. And those are not things that conventional financial services groups really do. And so you need small, nimble, creative companies like Travois to play that role, because the larger players in the financial system have the capital and have a desire to deploy it into projects that are helping communities adapt to climate change, for example, but they don't have the kind of on-the-ground knowledge and they don't have the personal relationships that we've been building for 21 years. Travois serves Indian country because Indian country faces specific barriers to accessing capital. And in order to overcome those barriers, you need to be small, nimble, creative. We're a 30-person company, so that allows us to change. We're a for-profit company. There are a lot of people out there, well, there are a lot of great nonprofit organizations out there, obviously, but it's also a model that requires incremental change, and it doesn't allow you to sometimes move at the speed that the market moves. And so being a private, for-profit, small business is a real asset to us, and it helps us do what we do.